What is up, F and True followers and wrestling fans? You are watching the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. My name is JC Styles, and I am back with the Monday Night Raw review for May 13, 2013. But before I get into this video, I would just like to point to the hat and say that my New York Rangers just beat the Washington Capitals 5-0 in Game 7 of the Eastern quarterfinals to advance over the team that sent them home last year to advance into the Eastern Conference semifinals. Congratulations and big ups to the 5-0 win for the New York Rangers. Moving on, we start off the Monday Night Raw with the dance-off between Chris Jericho and Fandango. Summer Rae winds up faking a sprained ankle, which leads to Fandango jumping Chris Jericho from behind and getting the upper hand. And in the first match of the night, we see Ryback defeat Zack Ryder. Now, honestly, I've been stating this for numerous times, and I'm just going to come out and say it. I can't fucking stand Ryback no more, excuse my language. And the reason why I can't stand him is because WWE has failed to do something big with him. They had so much momentum with him last summer when he was leading into the feuds with the guys like John Cena and CM Punk, and they should have did something really big with him, and they failed, and they really dropped the ball on that. I think that Ryback as a heel is friggin' ridiculous, and honestly, I would much rather have had Mark Henry feud with John Cena. At least the matches would have been halfway entertaining. I mean, Ryback can't cut a promo to save his life. The best thing he has in his repertoire as far as a promo is Ryback rule. Rah, feed me more. Rah. But also, my boy Zack Ryder has just been getting really the shit end of the stick. And, I've stated this in past videos that WWE overexposed him way too much. They oversaturated him in the market, and he lost his mysticism. And I really wish that WWE would stop using him as a beating boy for guys like Mark Henry and Ryback and The Shield. But, of course, Ryback picks up the win. We see primetime players defeat Tons of Funk. We then see a world title statement by Teddy Long. There's been a lot of news running around that Dolph Ziggler suffered a concussion at SmackDown taping last week. And there was a lot of talk about whether or not they were going to remove Dolph Ziggler from the main event picture and strip him of the world title. But they did not. Teddy Long came out after Swagger and Big E got involved. We wound up hearing that at Extreme Rules this coming Sunday, we will see a I Quit match for the #1 contendership for the World Heavyweight title between Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. And which is funny because last week, Brian and myself were talking about this situation and says, you know what they should do? They should keep the title on Dolph Ziggler because you know what? The guy oozes charisma. I'm not going to lie. The guy definitely has the mic skills. He has the in-ring look. He has the in-ring ability. And the guy can really wrestle when they really push him. And it'd be a shame to really, take the title off of him. Also, I find it kind of funny that Del Rio I don't think Del Rio ever got his one-on-one rematch clause because he had the injured knee. So I don't know if they really ever gave that to him, but I would think that they would just award him the #1 contendership. But I guess in this kind of way, it gives us some closure on the Swagger Del Rio storyline feud, and we'll move on. My prediction for the match is I think that we are going to see Alberto Del Rio pick up the win, and we obviously know what's going to happen. One or other of the competitors, Jack Swagger or Del Rio, are going to lock in their submission maneuver, and then the other wrestler that's in the maneuver that's being applied to him is going to scream, "I quit." You guys see me looking down is because I have my notes on my phone tonight. So we then see Mark Henry come out, and he's talking about demonstrating his bull rope match or strap match that he's going to be in, I guess, against Sheamus this Sunday. I was actually, I missed this segment, and the reason why I missed this segment because I was watching the Game 7 quarterfinals Stanley Cup playoffs, the Rangers versus the Capitals. I'm a really big hockey. I'm not a big hockey fan, but I'm a big Ranger fan. I was born in New York, and I like all New York teams: Rangers, Islanders, Mets, Yankees. and Giants and the Knicks. I don't like the Brooklyn Nets and I don't like the New York Jets, but it's a topic for another video. Then we go into actually a good match between Randy Orton and Antonio Cesaro. I thought this was actually pretty good. I like the fact that WWE is starting to push Antonio again, but in this match they were really building up Orton to feud with the Big Show on Sunday in his match. They wanted Orton to look strong. It was actually a pretty good match. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good. These guys have really tore the house down against one another when they get in the ring, and they really make a great combination when they're going against each other, and I would like to see more of these matches, maybe in the future for a championship belt, maybe for United States or Intercontinental, maybe see these two feud somewhere down the line for the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship at some point. All in all, great match. Orton wound up picking up the win via RKO. Then we see the return of The Miz pick up a win over Heath Slater. I'm not going to really comment on that because anyone could beat Heath Slater. Even I could beat Heath Slater cold on my deathbed. I could probably beat Heath Slater with one arm tied behind my back and one leg bound by my waist. But I do not want to do that in any way because Heath Slater's garbage. But I still maintain respect for the guy either way. Again, another week in a row, we see nonstop hyping up the Brock Lesnar versus Triple H face to face later on tonight in the last segment of the show. I honestly am tired of hearing about Brock Lesnar and Triple H. I really hope that they squash this feud on Sunday, and we'll get to that in a little bit. We then see advertised twice before this match a 6-man elimination tag team matchup. We saw Team Hell No and WWE Champion John Cena take on The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. But before we did that, I actually messed up. Kofi Kingston defeated Damian Sandow, and I think I heard this correctly. Ambrose is going to be going for the United States Championship at Extreme Rules. So that'd be pretty cool to see that the Shield end up with some of the mid-card straps on Sunday. But this 6-man tag match was pretty good. We wound up seeing John Cena pick up the win for his team as he was the last surviving member for his team by disqualification. But the Shield remains undefeated via pinfall. So even though that they lost their first match, nobody got the pin on the Shield, so they are still undefeated by pinfall, if you want to call it that. Jack Swagger defeats Big E by countout. Then Del Rio winds up coming out, and these three men wind up brawling it out to end the segment. I really wish that we were able to see more out of Big E Langston. I mean, Big E has really been showing a lot of potential over the last several weeks, and I really want to see more out of him. I think the guy can really go. I think the guy has the quality and the making of a world champion at some point in the WWE, or WWE champion, world heavyweight champion. Maybe be a cool way to, try to bleed out Big E out of the faction with Dolph Ziggler and maybe have these two feud over the world title for a little bit. Just something different. We saw AJ defeat Natalya by submission, and we saw pretty much almost half the Diva roster standing out at the ringside area. We saw the Bellas and Caitlyn. We also saw Khali and Hornswoggle out there. Not really much to talk about. Then the segment of the night, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. Triple H winds up coming out, cuts a promo, talks about how he had to hate and strive to hate in this business and learn how to fight in the ring and in his house that he built, the wrestling ring that he built. He grew up fighting in this ring. Really delivering a really good promo. Then Paul Heyman comes out and Triple H tries to get, kind of comic performance, insulted Paul Heyman. Then he, starts addressing Brock Lesnar and says that Brock Lesnar isn't a man because he lets Paul Heyman do all the decision-making for him. Then Brock Lesnar winds up getting suckered into the ring. The cage is lowered down before this segment even started. And it was actually a pretty good segment. I actually liked it. Would have liked to have seen blood, but you know, WWE PG, what are you going to do, right? There was one segment when these guys really started brawling it out that Triple H actually threw, like he flung Brock Lesnar into the steel cage door. He hit the steel cage door, the steel cage door swung open, and he kind of hit the door flew open, and then he went bleh. So it was kind of interesting. Paul Heyman wound up getting thrown off the steps because he was holding the door closed. I thought that was funny. Whenever you see that Walrus go flying, it's just hilarious. Overall, I thought that Monday Night Raw was okay. Definitely a lot better than last week's Raw. And I'm really shocked that Raw actually got that high in views. I was actually surprised when I actually checked it today before I started doing my review. Over 1,000 views. So I want to thank everyone who checked that out. I also want to thank everyone who checked out our Impact review and all of our content that makes up the Ephraim brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. I'm going to try out, just in case if everyone's going to ask, I am going to try to get out to Best Buy tomorrow and pick up WrestleMania 29 on Blu-ray. Hopefully I can be able to get out there and do that. So guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned like always. And for the Ephraim brand of wrestling and entertainment, please leave your comments in the comment box below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Catch you later.